We apologize for this brief interruption in the show. As many of you likely know, the Higher Standard podcast is officially sponsored by Transcend Company. Transcend has been my longtime provider for both testosterone and peptide therapies, but they offer so much more. Whether you're interested in health, wellness, or longevity, it all begins with you getting your blood work done. A lab draw will help you get the numbers and establish your baseline. You can go to transcendcompany.com/THSP. That's transcendcompany.com/THSP. Or you can click the link in the show notes on any streaming platform and on YouTube. Fill out your information, and one of the representatives will contact you to get your journey started today. Now back to the show.
Dollars.
Yeah.
That's not good.
That's a lot of money.
The building's only worth $800.
What kind of shit is this?
It's basically extortion.
This is the problem with all of these Marshall and Swift and insurable values.
There's no.
They're all wrong. They're all wrong.
It's just not possible.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, dude, I could literally build a new building for the same amount of money.
Yeah, exactly.
You're telling me it's going to take to fix the roof.
Just the roof.
He's like, yeah. And I'm like, that doesn't bother you.
You don't see the issue here?
Yeah, I'm just saying, might be a technical problem.
Right, exactly. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Today we got a great episode for you. We're going to dive right into it with Wells Fargo losing tens of millions of dollars every month.
Yeah, look, I understand sometimes there's operational costs for launching a new program.
Couple thousand?
Yeah, couple million maybe.
Maybe.
You're losing on average $10 million a month at Wells Fargo. I would say you made what is typically called an oopsie.
I mean, on one product.
Yeah, one product. So the product is the sensationally well-marketed Bilt credit card, spelled B-I-L-T for those of you who want to look it up. Well, Bilt credit cards were supposed to really help you, a renter, get the opportunity to buy a home. And how do they do that? Well, you pay your rent via the card and make 5 other transactions a month, and then you get 1% cash back on your rent.
And what made this actually like acceptable and different from the norm is, you know, most landlords wouldn't accept credit card payments for rent, right?
Yeah, they wouldn't do that. There's cost to them, usually a 2 to 3% transaction charge. Plus, obviously, credit cards are not as good as cash. They could be chargebacks and stuff like that you would normally get with an ACH. So there were concerns there that landlords would not do that. Wells Fargo found a way to get around that with a third-party processor, basically mailing checks to the landlords.
Mm-hmm.
But this did not work for mom and pops, the smaller landlords. This only worked for the large institutional ones, which started off well and good.
Mm-hmm.
Except it's ended up in a situation where Wells Fargo is saying, $10 million a month loss is probably not a good cadence for us.
Exactly. Right, exactly.
And, well, the program as you know it today is in jeopardy.
But there's a problem, right? Because that program's going to be around for a while.
Till 2029 is the contract. But let's get into a little bit more about the history here, and we'll get into the flavor of why this is a problem. And the overriding principal theme here is that, look, there are a lot of people who believe in maximizing things for points on credit cards. I've never been that guy. I can see the value for travel, airlines, you know. I can see the value for special rewards, maybe cashback rewards on some credit cards. But anytime something sensational and revolutionary comes up in what is otherwise a well-heeled market, you have to stop and pause and say, I'm going to let this play out a little bit first. Because the overwhelming odds is these new programs are going to face some challenges.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Wells Fargo's challenges. Everyone in fintech has been saying that the Bilt credit card, $3.1 billion valuation, is too good to be true. How can you get cash back on rent payments? It sounds amazing.
Right.
And the CEO, who is now valued at being a billionaire, by the way, he broached a number of banks, JP Morgan, a couple other banks out there, and they all were like, no, we don't get it.
U.S. Bancorp and Synchrony.
There you go. Look at you, detailed.
Yeah.
And they were like, no.
Yeah, they passed on the deal.
Yeah, we have no interest at this time. But Wells Fargo, who was looking to come back from, well, being a little predatory on the lending side and on the consumer side, and pretty much all sides of the bank, they've been hit with a lot of concerns, and they were under an order preventing them from growing. They had some CEO changes, and as a result of all these things, they were looking to really focus on their consumer credit card businesses through these third-party programs where they would effectively back somebody else's credit card.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. And the thought process here for them too was that by getting customers to sign up with this, that they would be able to cross sell. If anyone knows anything about Wells Fargo, it's all about the cross sell. It's really in banking in general, right? But they're really big on cross selling. They thought they could cross sell mortgages with this product.
We helped you vis-a-vis the Bilt credit card get the cash to put down to buy a property with this 1% cashback program. So naturally, these people are going to be like, you know what? Hey, great. I'm going to finance through Wells Fargo because they backed me in this program. Except, no. People don't know that Wells Fargo is behind Bilt. And even though it's disclosed and there's things out there which tell you about the relationship like this, like the podcast, like we're doing right now, people are going to go, you know what? Wells Fargo is so loyal to me. They go, oh, Bilt has a great program. Thank you, Bilt. So Wells Fargo is kind of holding the cash, going, okay, well, at least we're going to get revenue off the card. Ooh, yeah. Turns out they have an unsustainable deal with Wells that is losing the bank hundreds of millions of dollars. Wells made a number of incorrect assumptions in their underwriting. We've talked in the show multiple times about underwriting real estate, trying to figure out if the deal is economically viable and if there's a risk of default in a transaction. Well, credit cards and the risk of making this program happen was underwritten.
Right.
Wells Fargo and their executives made some key underlying assumptions. Well, and we'll get into those momentarily, but those assumptions are part of the logic, the decisioning, if you will, of is this going to make money for Wells Fargo? And that logic was very, very flawed. So they assumed that it would be a top-of-wallet credit card for renters. Renters would be like, oh, my God, this Bilt credit card, it gets me 1% cash back on my rent. As long as I make 5 transactions a month, I'm going to use this credit card. It's going to be my primary. I'm going to use it all the time. Well, if you're going to be top of wallet, that means you're going to carry more balances on that as opposed to just using it for the points. Instead, a lot of savvy customers use the bank for the minimum required to collect the rental points. I do this. I often use cards specifically. I typically put everything on my American Express because of the points. Also, there's a layer of protection built in there versus my ATM card. But I do use my Wells Fargo card, or at least I used to until American Express offered this, because I paid my wireless bill through it with an automatic ACH because at the time, my Wells Fargo debit card or credit card offered me protection for my cell phone for insurance purposes.
So let's just back it up just a little bit here because that may have flown over some people's heads. I actually know a lot of people that primarily just use their debit card for most of their transactions.
Yeah, don't do that.
So you're saying that the layer of protection that it provides you, maybe go into that a little bit. What kind of protection are you talking about? Other than the fact that you could dispute a charge, or if somebody stole your credit card information from a vendor or a merchant that you went to a store and they were able to pick up your information, then you could dispute that charge, and it doesn't take your cash out right away from your account like your debit card would.
There are those people who do not agree with this theory. I will say I think this is one of those concepts as a kid that I really struggled with growing up when it came to pivoting from a life where I didn't have a lot of money to I had enough money to save and invest. Getting mentally to where I'm at today in my relationship with credit cards was a very interesting thing. We've covered on previous shows that there are really 2 types of credit cards. There's a credit card where you charge and you pay the minimum payment every single month. And there are charge cards where you charge and you pay the entire balance every single month. Historically speaking, and there are some variants now which are not the case, but historically speaking, that was the difference between American Express and the rest of the credit cards that were out there. American Express was a charge card. You charged it, you paid off the entire balance at the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
And it was looked at as having higher prestige, not because, it's American Express and all this marketing and branding and the metal cards and all that stuff. It was looked at it as, okay, you were using a card that you had the cash to pay off every single month because those were the payment terms. So people weren't looking at you, Saied, going, oh, Said's using a credit card, but he's only going to pay $25 this month because he doesn't have the money for it.
Right.
They're going, oh, Said's got a charge card, so he's paying it off at the end of the month.
Yeah.
That's where this original aura of American Express being so sexy came from.
Right.
Right? Well, as I got older, I realized that, number one, if you're using your debit card, there are some points with a debit card, but debit cards are generally bank issued, and they're not as sexy as far as those points go as credit cards are. Those credit cards generally want you to use them and pay them interest, and those interests that's usually pretty high especially if you're carrying a balance. Which
Well, I mean, they've studied all the analytics, right?
Yeah.
And they're banking, no pun intended, even though pun intended.
no, it's-
See what I did there?
you intended the pun.
I intended the pun.
Yeah.
A big pun. I had to do it. It was right there.
I don't think a lot of people listening to this know what big pun is.
It's okay. They should do the research.
They should do their research.
That they are literally banking on the fact that most people will carry a balance based just on consumer credit behavior.
And they do. Most people who open a credit card, carry a balance or use it. I mean, otherwise, what's the point of opening it, right? Like,
Right.
Why would you do that? Now, there are people who phase cards out over time, stop using it, stuff like that. But generally speaking, most people who open them use them.
Right. And you don't want to do that, right? Because if you don't use them for too long and then they do get shut down and then your overall credit limits or lines come down a little bit, your credit score would actually take a hit, right?
Yeah.
A minor one. It depends on how you use your cards. There's a number of different factors, but
It's circumstantial.
Yeah, circumstantial.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, if you have the cards, you want to use them at least periodically.
Yeah, look, and they do. So, long story short, when it comes to using a charge card, which is I use, and we all know that I use the American Express, number one, I don't want anybody to ever steal my credit card information, have direct access to my cash in my account, right? I don't carry a ton of cash in my accounts, but I certainly don't want anybody having access to that, right? Number two, with American Express in particular, and certainly credit card vendors, I can dispute charges. You can do the same with your debit card, but the money's already out of your account. Where if it's on your credit card and you dispute it, you don't have to pay it until they resolve the issue, right?
Mhm.
Number three, I get points. I get a better cadence of points with American Express than I did with my bank debit card, for example. Number three, look, the charge card is like a way of holding your feet to the fire on some level, right? Especially when you're younger and you're kind of learning the discipline of it. I only want to charge what I'm going to pay off at the end of the month. I know that bill is due, and I got to pay it off entirely at the end of the month. Having that be my standard makes it a lot more thought-provoking every time I charge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm buying this. Do I have the money to pay this off in cash? When you're younger, that's the conversation when you have. When you're older, you get used to like, okay, any large purchases, I want to think about how I'm spending it, why I'm spending it. I want to be a little more pragmatic about why I want something. You're not just out there, buying anything you want. And even when you make money, you probably get more thoughtful about it than when you're just starting out and you're kind of stretching because you really want something and it's out of reach, as opposed to you can buy it whenever you want. I say all this to say, look, I think using a card strategically is a good idea. And there's nothing wrong with using for points. There's nothing wrong for using Bilt to get, money back for your rent.
Yeah, as long as you're strategic about it, right? And you have the discipline.
Right. Except in this case, it didn't make a whole lot of sense. Wells Fargo assumed that 65% of card purchase volume would be non-rent, generating interchange fees for revenue. Interchange fees, basically, they charge 2 to 3% for the usage of the card to the vendor, right?
Exactly.
So if you're using 65% of your card's usage is going to get them fees, and the other 35% going towards your rent is not going to get them fees, the overall majority will get them fees. Well, in fact, the reality was inverted.
Yeah,
It was the opposite.
So what actually came in is they projected 65% being non-rent generated, right? Actually came in at 35%.
Yes.
I mean, that's a misstep.
So now 2/3 of what's being charged is not generating fees for them. Only a third of it is. So their fee model is completely off kilter. You got a good amount of these people who are only using it for the points because they're very point savvy. There's a lot of YouTube videos out there, and I guarantee you there's at least one person out there going, "Hey man, let me tell you how to get some free money for your rent."
Right.
Right? That's the thing. Well, it's also assumed that 50 to 75% of the balances would be revolving. Right?
Exactly.
Earning them interest, meaning that they carry a balance, they pay it down over time. Well, the reality is that they mostly have cardholders that like many people out there like myself who don't carry a balance. Only 15 to 25% are actually revolving. So most people who use this card are using it in a very healthy, strategic, and thoughtful way, which should have been obvious.
Right.
Okay? If you're going to offer a niche specialty card which gets Americans back 1% for their rent, it's going to be the financially literate people who are thoughtful and trying to eke out and be smart about the 1% difference to be able to buy a property one day.
Yep.
How did they not think that the people using these cards would not be racking themselves up with debt?
Exactly.
I mean, these are smart executives. Presumptively, those who've been in the credit space and banking space for their careers.
I mean, is there even? I didn't get that far into this to find out, was there even a limit to the amount that you could charge for your rent? Like, what if you're renting like some wild penthouse?
The landlord had to be in the program or be part of the program.
Okay.
Right. And then they would essentially verify it. Was there a limit? I don't think that there was that I saw. I think you could, if you were paying it for rent,
Yeah.
you could get cash back. But you're not going to be paying $10,000, $20,000 a month for rent and using a Bilt card.
Yeah. I would hope not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But another thing that Wells Fargo was doing is that they were paying out $200 for each account opened through Bilt. And they're still paying
just money that they were giving away.
Yeah, here's an extra $200.
We're going to make so much money off this card, America, that we're going to give you $200 just for signing up with Bilt. But Bilt's not going to pay it. Wells Fargo's going to pay it.
Yep.
God, Bilt fucked them in that negotiation.
Dude.
So bad.
Yeah, this is masterful.
Yeah, it's not a shock to me that JP Morgan Chase was like, yeah, no, we're going to pass on that.
Yeah, we're gonna let Wells eat this.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Wells is paying 0.8% to Bilt on rent payments. 0.8%. Even though the bank doesn't get interchange fees on them. So they're not getting paid money for those balances, and they're still paying 0.8%. So to make this clear here, they're only making about 1/3 of the income of the program that they thought they were going to make. And of the 65% of the people, the usage of the cards is going to rent, Wells has to pay Bilt 0.8%.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to pay the transaction fees, right?
Yeah. So obviously the mortgage business for Wells is not going very well. You got interest rates going up.
Well, and then they also laid off a bunch of people in their mortgage lending departments.
Yeah.
So it's like, wait, your whole thought process behind this was to cross-sell mortgages, but then we're also going to shorten our staff? Like, what's going on?
Well, I mean, look, the economy pivoted pretty significantly. Yeah. So I think the idea behind some of these programs is that they've ran through all the analytics, they know everything. You'd be surprised how unbelievably cavalier some of these things that come to market are. And the wildest part about this to me is not that the program's going to fail, because it's going to fail. You know, look, kudos to them. They negotiated the hell out of this deal with Wells Fargo. They got an unbelievable deal. The company's valuation went from, I think, somewhere just below $2 billion to over $3.2 billion, making their CEO a billionaire because of this deal, because of the business they expected to get from this. But the contract expires in 2029. Wells has already said they will not be renewing it as is. Bilt spokesperson have come out saying this is an inaccurate representation of what's actually going on. But this is a Wall Street Journal article.
Yeah, it's an inaccurate representation, but Wells Fargo's also coming out saying we're probably not going to renew this thing.
Yeah, they're not gonna renegotiate this loosely and laissez-faire. They're gonna come in swinging. They're gonna say, hey guys, we're not giving $200 to everybody who opens an account. We're not giving you 0.8%. And then the question is going to be, okay, well, how economically viable is it? How do you just give people on their single largest expense 1% back?
Yeah.
How are you justifying that? You're going to have to make Wells Fargo, the person giving the money, more money. How do you make them more money? They have to either use the card or jack the rates.
Right.
So either way, I don't see this thing surviving.
Yeah. So, I mean, use it while you can.
I mean,
how much cashback are you really getting? I get like for the consumer, okay, it's a little bit here, a little bit there, fine, like 1% cashback, right, on your rent.
There is an entire subset of very, very just like penny pinching, incredibly detailed spenders who use points strategically, who will get every single penny from a situation like this.
Yeah.
In addition to travel points and other points, they will be so delineated and calculated in how they use things that this will be somewhat valuable to them.
Right. And I actually know people that if they know, like, they're that strategic and that disciplined, they're already saying, okay, I'm not going to look to buy a home within the next year or so. I can open up this travel card, even though I'll take the hit currently on the credit score to get these points. And they understand how to manipulate their credit score well enough to where when the time is right, then I can buckle back down again and increase the score back up. So, yeah, there are people that are like that.
But I would say the majority of America, myself included, probably you too as well, I'm not going to do this.
No. I mean, so much time and effort has to go into this, right? Like you could put all your energy into something else.
Let's just think here. Let's just say you spend $2,000 a month on rent, $24,000 a year. 1% of that.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
You know, that's times what between now and so 5.
Right. No, but given inflation with everything that's going on, that might mean something to some people.
No, it might. But what I'm saying is if you put that same time, energy, and thoughts into running a side business, you're going to make considerably more money.
100%.
If you put money in the stock market and were thoughtful and pragmatic about your investments, you're going to make a whole hell of a lot more money. This is where I look at the time value of money and some of these programs and the sensationalism. They basically weaponized against America their number one dream. How can we use the American dream of owning a home against them to get them to put more money on the one thing that takes most Americans down, a credit card?
Yeah, you're right.
They're trying to come at you as your friend.
Yeah.
Bilt. Ooh, they're going to build me up. They're building something.
I like that.
It's constructive.
Yeah.
And all I've got to do is put the payment that I'm going to pay every single month anyway on the card. That's not going to hurt me. How's that going to hurt me?
Yeah. Knowing that most people carry balances, it was a little predatory.
Their entire business plan was to get you to use the damn card 65% more.
When are they going to stop
than your rent?
When are they going to stop being so predatory, man?
I'm just saying, like, and this is the wild thing. And the whole point of this intro, Saied asked me before this whole thing started, hey, why are we doing this as an intro portion? What's the lesson? Here's the lesson. A lot of people in technology and finance will try to come together with a program that sounds amazing for you, the consumer. But at the end of the day, you cannot forget somebody is making money off this somewhere.
Right.
Right? And if they're making money off of you doing something through them, you got to ask yourself, if you get all the benefits and none of the risk, then you are the product.
Yeah, we actually talked about this a lot before too. And most times you're the data.
Yes.
The data that's being sold on the back end, right? Which Bilt probably has all your data. Then they forward the leads onto Wells Fargo.
Well, Wells Fargo knew your credit score.
Yep.
They knew what your spending was like.
Yep.
They knew how much money you'd save from putting 1% down. You were a great piece of data for them to farm and say, okay, here's how our mortgage division taps over. And when this contract was negotiated, the mortgage economy was booming. Rates were super low. You could just say like, oh, shit, here is a absolute hotbed of leads. And all you had to do is say, hey, I'm from Bilt. I'm your credit card company. Oh, by the way, I have a partner at Wells Fargo who backs us on the card who will help you get a home today because you've used this card. That's why you're using it, right?
100%. Yep.
And it was such an amazing handoff opportunity, and then it wasn't.
Yeah, then it wasn't. Well done. I see what you did here.
Yeah.
Good
really?
job. Yeah. No, I like it. I like you put a nice little bow on it.
You were a little hesitant before we got into it.
I was. No, but it turned out to work out. It was good.
Because I had no idea what I was going to say before we went into this. This is all made up on the fly,
no
brother.
Plan.
No plan. I was like, this looks interesting. Let's just use this today.
Yeah, no, it's a great art. Really? It actually caught fire on the socials.
It did, because Bilt was a lot of fanfare. It was really out there. I mean, this was a big deal a while back.
I'm going to be honest with you. I had never heard of it.
You brought it up on a previous show.
Bilt?
Yeah, you were the one talking about this credit card.
Did I?
You didn't say it by name, but you said that one credit card where you used the money.
I referenced it? Oh,
yeah.
Maybe. I had never. Be honest, I don't think I did, because I had never heard of it, and maybe that was because I'm not falling for any of these gimmicks. I'm gonna stick to my plan. This is my plan, and I'm gonna go through with it.
I can see there's some challenges as regards. Oh yeah, there's the CEO right there.
Because when you said when
Yeah.
I was reading about Bilt, I was like, what is it? The clothing company, the one that's the athletic wear that everyone's been wearing.
Haroon, what'd you pull up here? What is this?
Oh, just brought it up. Want to show the CEO, and then that's what happens when I don't talk for a minute.
He's getting out in front of it. But wait, before you talk your shit.
You don't have to excuse yourself when you clear your throat, okay?
Yeah,
It's all good.
The company was valued at $3.1 billion at one point.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, currently Bilt Rewards announces $200 million raise, valuing company at $3.1 billion. Wow.
It's also back from January, so I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, look, again, I appreciate the concept. I appreciate what they were doing. I think a lot of people who use the cards use it in a very intelligent way, and they won, and the business lost.
Yeah,
They didn't get their value out of it. So, before we move on, Saied, if you're having trouble remembering and recalling things, there's an excellent product by our partners over at Transcend. If you go to transcendcompany.com/THSP, you can sign up, enter your information in, and a representative will call you back. And at which time you could ask them about NAD+, which I take 3 times a week, 20 units, inject subcutaneously. It's fantastic for memory.
NAD+.
NAD+, yeah. It's they used to offer it in IVs. I used to get them back in the day. Every once in a while I get them, but I can take this 3 times a week. Mental clarity, memory, it's fantastic.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I might have to look into this.
You keep saying that, you're not going to do it.
I know, I might have to.
I think you got a fear of needles.
A fear,
They're very small needles.
I don't have a fear of needles.
Why don't you do it?
I need to do it.
It's not a hormone. Supplement.
You're getting lean, bro.
Are you checking me out?
Yeah. Is there a problem?
I don't feel like I'm getting lean. To be honest, I've had so many little nagging. So I'm going to go on another course of BPC 157 coming up, which is like the Wolverine peptide. It's for healing.
For the hamstring?
I have like a hamstring issue. My forearms are getting all like sensitive, and I don't know if it's because I'm leaning out.
Forearms are getting so sensitive.
Yeah, I know you're being a pervert. Okay, look.
What are you doing?
I don't know, man. For some reason, you want the God's honest truth?
Yeah.
Haroon, I know you can relate to what I'm about to say. All right.
It's
not negative.
Don't co-sign this shit. Don't co-sign this shit.
You're in marketing, right? And I know that part of your job requires you to be on social media, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think me constantly using my right hand on social media and my thumb has got like a tennis elbow thing going on here.
No, stop, dude.
If you look
a tennis elbow, no.
I'm telling you,
it's the black card.
No, you're not doing. It's the way.
I have been so respectful to you, you ungrateful bastard.
25 minutes into the show. No, you're not doing reverse curls, man.
No, I've been trying to do like the twisty things where you like sit in the gym in front of the.
Yeah.
Haroon's like, I'm tired of these assholes. Let's move the show on.
Let's get into the summary of the show.
All right. Well, look. Let's get right into some topics that I think you probably heard about in the last week that we want to break down. Obviously, in the previous show.
Or you can introduce us.
Come on, man. Thank you.
Going to get there.
No, you fucker. You forgot.
You forgot. You do the intro first, and then. Is this your first show? It's only episode 235.
I need more NAD, apparently. No, I had a segue, but that's fine.
Okay.
This is the #1 financial literacy podcast in the world.
He doesn't like it. He doesn't like it.
Sitting next to me, my partner in, I guess, time, the one and only Saied Omar.
Oh, thank you, my man. Sitting next to me on my left is my partner in crime, my salty partner in crime, Chris Nahibi. Welcome back to the show, everybody.
And outside on the ones and twos, the man who I cannot seem to get on camera. Karma will not let me put a camera in front of him. The one and only DJ Sassy Haroon.
It's been 3 weeks that I've been getting dressed up, fixing my hair, shaving my beard, cleaning it up, coming in. Today I was like, fuck that. I was like,
getting ready to come in.
I tried today, dude. I had nuts and bolts out there, lots of nuts and some bolts, and
it's coming though.
The fucking bracket
for the listeners that keep reaching out saying, "Oh, who needs a camera?" We promise you, it's coming.
I am so unnerved by how it did not work.
Chris just takes a very long time to get things done, so.
That's hurtful. That's.
Can you name one piece of equipment out there you set up?
That's what I'm saying. Come on.
Can you name one piece out there you set up?
He's literally done it all.
In your space, you have set up nothing.
Nothing.
Hold on.
If you're listening to the show on Apple or Spotify, please leave us an honest 5-star review. We got some reviews that we're going to touch on the end of this show. Or if you're watching us over on YouTube, please hit that like button. Let's get this video out to as many people as possible. Please subscribe. Please do all the moist, goody good stuff, leaving off the sassafras per the request of a listener.
Yeah, very good call.
A very good OG listener.
I love that. I love that good OG listener. That being said, 2 things I want to touch on before we move on to the show. Number 1, I didn't think that you telling people on Spotify to leave reviews and send us emails would work. We got 2 that way.
That was, I mean, they love us over on Spotify. I think Spotify listeners are more hardcore podcast listeners than Apple podcast listeners.
Yeah, I listen to podcasts on Spotify now too.
I think that's everyone's. It was the Rogan thing. When Rogan went over, Spotify just became the podcast platform.
Yeah, I got sold.
Yeah,
that's how I got there.
Yeah. Me too.
And then number 2, I'm having a renaissance, a personal renaissance. I went into my closet, and I will admit I've lost about 20 pounds. And
shout out to Transcend Company.
Transcend hooked me up, yeah. And look, it's been a long process. But that being said, I had a period of time where I couldn't fit any of my suits because I was fat. It's what it is. And I call it bulking, but that's not what's really going on. It was just I was eating a lot.
You're dirty bulking.
Just dirty. And look, I gained a lot of weight, and I didn't fit any of my suits. So I got rid of a lot of my suits, the skinny boy suits.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I've put on some muscle mass and leaned out, those suits still don't fit me. The ones that I did keep, I kept a couple of them. The suit I got married and stuff like that. And I got some fat boy suits that I don't fit in. So I've decided I'm going to do the reasonable, mature adult thing.
No more suits?
No. I want to make sure I phrase this right because you're going to hold it against me later on.
Oh, God.
I have decided that I've gotten to be a lazy dresser again
Mm-hmm.
in my life. And there was a period of time where I wore nothing but suits every single day.
I remember that day, those days.
I think there's a happy medium between wearing a suit every single day and having a smart business casual attire and getting away from basically how I look tonight with a t-shirt on and stuff.
No, but you don't go into the office this casual.
No, I don't. But I want to step up my game back to where I was, where it looks like you're wearing tailored business attire most of the time.
With kicks or dress shoes?
No. I think I'm still going to keep the Jordans, especially the Jordan 1 low, stuff like that. I think that's just going to be my signature piece. But I want to build a capsule collection.
Yeah, bro. There's something about putting on like, a nice suit that makes you feel good about it too.
Yeah, but I don't want to wear like full suits anymore. What I want to do is I want to wear like very well, like almost like trouser tailored jeans where there's no break at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to wear like dress shirts with them tucked in and maybe a sport coat.
Love that.
So I'm not going to wear a full suit, but I'm also not going to be fully casual, but, figure something out somewhere in that space.
You're going to wear that at the studio as well?
Yes.
Nice.
You can wear it here?
Yeah.
Damn, Saied.
I think I would like to get to the point to where I could figure out the logistics of, because I go to the gym in between when I leave the office and come here. I know this is bothering you. That's why I'm giving you full disclosure on the show. Okay?
I'm on the show.
I'm giving it to you real.
He's doing it
so mad.
Wait, we got a whole line of. So you're not wearing our merch anymore?
No, I'm gonna wear the merch. And
so you're gonna get dress shirts with a higher standard on it?
No, but on occasion I will wear the merch. But I would like to be more. Here's the problem. Okay, look, and I know there's listeners out there who know who we are. Okay, and they're like, okay, these guys have legitimate jobs.
Yeah.
There is something to be said for looking like the role that you're in.
Yeah.
And I have always rebuked the system on some level, saying, fuck that. I don't have to look a certain way to be. I'm intelligent. You don't need me to dress like I'm intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You guys are supposed to say you are, like, confirm or something.
Oh, I said okay. I said,
uh-huh. Thank you, Haroon.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That didn't disingenuous, but that's fine. But I also think there's something about the way getting dressed every day made me feel.
Okay.
I felt like I was getting dressed for the day. I was getting ready for the day. And while I'm prioritizing health and all these things, I think it's important that you set the tone for your day. The same way you get up in the morning, you get on a treadmill or you get on a bike.
I love
you take
that
a cold
idea.
plunge.
I love that idea, actually. I have no gripes with it. I love it.
Follow-up question. Are you going to go with what is trending now? The loose, the 90s suits? Or are you going to...
So, no. Good question. In my past, in my youth, I would have I wore a lot of Italian suits when leaner, skinnier cuts were in style. I'm now at the point in my life where I could care less about what the macro style is, and I care more about a capsule collection of timeless pieces.
Yeah, that's what it should
be. The pair of jeans that I bought were, slim fit. They're tailored up. They look more like fitted slacks than they do jeans, but they're very jean-looking color and texture.
Yeah.
Right? The shirts that I have are largely looser fit, so I can actually move in them per se, because I'm not going to be wearing Italian style like slim cut shirts and then try to grab something and tear it with my big biceps. But yeah, I'm going for a timeless capsule collection of pieces that I know I will never have to replace again, as long as I stay the same shape.
As long as you stay the same shape,
which I hope at this point.
Yeah. A lot of time and effort has gone into this.
Is in the horizon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Haroon, could you pull this over slightly to the right a little bit? Nope, the other one.
Other one.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Nope, to the right. My right. There we go. All right. So we've already talked about Wells Fargo's bet on the flashy Bilt credit card, but we're going to talk about the Fed decision. The Fed decision came down this last week. You talked about it in a previous show.
Mm-hmm.
And well, It was everything we thought it was going to be and nothing more.
Yeah. It was a little disappointing.
Yep. We'll talk about Jay Parsons, again, one of my favorite emerging economists. Another more of the same report on CPI and OER. We'll explain all that. A Zero Hedge article on the mother of all mass layoffs is coming. I found this one particularly insightful. If there's one you're going to listen to and go, huh, that's the one I think from this week.
All right.
Game of Trades, one of the X pages that I follow. Buying conditions in the U.S. housing market has collapsed to levels only seen 2 times since the 1960s. And I've got a lot to say there that I didn't really include in the show notes, but some tertiary things that I think are very, very, very valuable to think of. Before we get there, though, let's talk about the summary of the Fed decision, which took place on June 12th. Number one, the Fed leaves rates unchanged for the 7th straight meeting. Something Saied was very confident was going to happen.
Yeah, I feel very confident it's going to happen again in July, too.
Just coming out firing early.
I'm just letting y'all know. Yeah. Foreshadowing.
Shoot the guy before he even has a chance to draw.
Yeah, absolutely. But we'll get into it why.
Okay. Number two, the officials raised the 2024 inflation forecast from 2.4% to 2.6%. Saied, why is that important?
Because if it's going up, that's going the opposite direction, and that just means that they will not be cutting rates, right? Because if they do cut rates, one of 3 scenarios has to happen. Inflation is falling, which that just suggests now that they predict that it won't be happening. It's going the wrong way, right? The labor market weakens. What does that mean? There's going to be mass layoffs, right? And the third one is there's a threat of a recession.
So keep mass layoffs in mind. That's a foreshadowing phrase. We're going to get back to this later.
Right. So, but 2 out of those 3, those last 2, right? Either mass layoffs or the threat of a recession. That means they'd be cutting interest rates to save what's going on in the economy.
Yes.
Right? So, as of right now, they predict, I think, a positive 2.1% GDP by the end of the year. They predict unemployment to end the year at 4.0%. That's what their predictions are based on the summary of economic projections, right? So, according to their dual mandate, everything's going to be fine. So, if inflation's going the opposite way and all the positive markers are fine, why would they cut rates? He was grilled on this question at the post-game press conference. He was fumbling. He was fumbling the bag.
Mm-hmm. I didn't watch it. I was in meetings. This is one of the few that I didn't watch.
Oh, you would have loved it.
But I heard a lot of bag fumbling was occurring.
Yeah.
The median forecast shows just 1 rate cut now in 2024. Dot plot went from 3 to 1. And Saied did tell us on the previous show that the dot plot was going to be very indicative of what the Fed had in mind, Saied.
Yeah. So what the dot plot is, remember, so at every 3 months after the Fed comes out with their decision, whether they're going to cut rates, leave rates unchanged, or raise rates, they have to come out with a report that lets everybody know where they see this going for the rest of the year and what's going to happen in 2025. This is just where they see things going. Okay. I think the market was right in not believing the Fed, but they were right in not believing the Fed for the wrong thing. They were believing that the Fed they were going to cut rates way earlier. We don't believe you. You're going to hold rates higher for longer, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. What they should have not believed is the optimism that they were giving the entire time. We knew that they were going to hold rates higher for longer.
And said it on shows.
And said it. Remember, I think it was last year, at some point in the middle of last year, the Fed had predicted that there would have been 6 rate cuts by now or by the end of 2024. Okay? Then that changed to 4.
Mm-hmm.
Then in December of last year, that changed to 3. And then in March of earlier this year, it was still 3. And now it just came out, it's 1 rate cut. So that optimism that they just had, have you seen that? I think it was some car insurance commercial where the guy's holding the fishing pole. He's got $1 hanging out in front of him. That's what they were doing. They were giving that level of optimism. It was like, come on, you guys are going to make it. It's going to be just fine. And then sure enough, 3 months later goes by and they go, yeah, I know you guys are all hoping for rate cuts. It's not going to happen this year.
Yeah, and if that wasn't bad enough, the median forecast shows 100 basis points of rate cuts in 2025. And to be clear, if they do that at the slowest cadence possible, that would be 4 rate cuts in the entire year, assuming 25 basis points each.
So let me get this right. you said that we were going to have 3 rate cuts in 2024. You removed 2 of them. We're down to 1. And now they had 3 rate cuts built into 2025, and now they just bumped it up to 4. Come on, guys. Like, you can no longer believe the optimism that they're trying to give you.
Yeah, they're saying, hey, guys, it'll all be okay in 2025. We promise.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Trust us.
Right.
We wouldn't screw you.
Right. Now, something does tell me, though, that, like I said earlier, remember, they can still always modify their plans. These are just projections, right? If something goes south, like there being mass layoffs, or there's a threat of a recession, which we fully predict on happening, right? They can come out and modify this plan and start cutting rates.
I have a very crass example for number 5, which Saied won't let me say because it'll get us flagged on YouTube. But the Fed says that inflation has eased but remains elevated.
Come on. Give it to me. It's okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah. What?
If my erection has eased but remains elevated, you're still getting fucked.
You're still getting fucked.
It's crass, baby, but the point comes across.
There goes the promotions. We tried, America.
You asked. I literally gave you the opportunity to opt out.
Yeah, I mean, I knew where it was going.
Haroon, no laugh from you back there?
I laughed. I was on mute.
Yeah.
I call shenanigans there.
Yeah.
The Fed moved on to one final thought that we thought was valuable to share. Median 2024 core PCE inflation estimated up from 2.6 to 2.8% as well. So now you got officials raising the inflation forecast and the core inflation forecast. Core inflation, of course, important because it is the metric they look at the most.
Yeah, that's the one that they look at the most, exactly. And if they're predicting, they've been very, very clear that they want inflation to get down to 2%. And they're saying 2 to 3%? No, that's not good enough. We want 2%, right? And if they're saying here that PCE core inflation is going to remain at 2.8%, why? Why would they cut? There's no reason for them to cut. If the jobs reports are strong, which, by the way, we had that guy trying to attack us for no reason.
I think he
was stuck on stupid.
Dude, here's the problem. And this just, first of all, people get so pissed off because they're in some like finance adjacent job. They feel like they know more than most, and they probably do about finance, but they don't spend hours a week, I don't know, hosting a podcast, talking about it, doing it every single day between the hours of 9 to 5.
Doing our research behind it, making sure we're on point with this.
And then they always want to take a 30-second clip and be like, bro, you're misleading people. Did you think I was going to be able to explain complex financial thoughts in a 30-second social media clip? Did you really think that was going to happen? It's supposed to be sensational. It's social media. And by the way, it's supposed to be sensational enough to get you to comment and or watch the damn podcast.
I mean, that guy, he was stuck on stupid.
But he was a financial adjuster.
And we're okay. Look, we're okay with some, some responses that are engaging so that we can further clarify.
Bro, he came out swinging at me.
He came out swinging. And
3 times. And not any one of those responses that I give him did I attack him.
Yeah. Shout out to I can't remember which listener it was that after we were responding back and forth to that guy, he literally just commented under all of our comments, just the popcorn emoji.
Oh, did he really? I didn't see that. Shit.
That was good.
No, you want I didn't see it? I blocked him.
Oh, you blocked him?
Yeah.
No, it was good. Basically, what the guy was saying is we're miscalculating the number of people out there that are holding 2 jobs, and I'm like, hey, dipshit, right? What you're missing the. First of all, we didn't. You screen grabbed it.
I literally showed him a screen grab from Bloomberg. I'm like, brother, what other? He's like, you're misrepresenting the data. And I'm like, here is a screenshot from Bloomberg which shows exactly what was said. And by the way, that wasn't even us saying it. I was reading a quote.
Yeah, and me saying don't trust the Fed's data, he responded back to me saying, what are you saying, the Fed's lying? I'm like, no. I'm not saying they're lying. Unfortunately, some of their data points are delayed. That's all. That's on the way the data gets reported, you can't trust it all. Right? Like, you're trying to tell me that the jobs reports are accurate when they get revised not once, but twice every single time?
And then he called us doomers. And I'm like, why are we doomers? Because we're quoting data that's publicly available.
I mean, I would be cool with that if Noriel was still a good guy, but we broke up.
Dr. Rabini.
We broke up with him.
Son of a bitch, Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom.
You know what? And I think most of America broke up with him too.
He fell off.
He went from hot tub parties. I bet you he's right now like that guy getting a DWI in the Hamptons.
Because he had that book come out. That was a foreshadowing, and that's what we call foreshadowing in the business, kids.
He is not bringing sexy back.
Yeah, exactly. Ah, poor guy.
Well, let's get into Jay Parsons. Another more of the same report on CPI. Like he has said, Jay Parsons, before, it's an 18-wheeler riding its brakes down a mountain. We know where it's headed, but it's a slow descent due to the methodology. Both rent and OER, which, reminder, are both sourced from the same survey of 7,000 renters a month, not homeowners.
Yes.
Okay? And OER is owner's equivalent rent, I should probably clarify on. So basically they're saying that rent and owner's equivalent rent. So when we talk about rent and rent equivalent in the show, that's what we're talking about.
They're trying to get information on how much people are paying for rent for homes that like other people could own, right?
It cooled a little bit since now it's at its lowest level since about Q2 of 2022. But rent and owner's equivalent rent are only major categories of CPI that are not real-time pricing, given that they include all active leases, even if signed a year ago.
Right.
So they're highly predictable and lagged relative to other CPI metrics. And as a reminder here, Haroon, if you could pull up some chart work here. Thank you very much. If you look at the charts, CPI rent continues a gradual slide down as asking rents hold flat. That's important because approximately 33% of inflation is shelter, housing.
Yeah, for the CPI report.
Yep. The CPI report. For the core CPI report.
Core PCE report.
Core PCE report, or whatever. Yeah. You got 40% dedicated to this. If this stays flat and doesn't go down, everything else would have to come down monumentally to get to the Fed's 2% target rate.
Yeah, and we know that that's not going to happen. You need this to come down. Or
before you get all sassy,
we're getting a little sassy.
This is already happening, and because this takes into account what is known to be lagging indicators, in some cases a lease signed literally a year ago.
Well, yeah, that's
not capturing what's actually happening in the market.
Right.
Today.
So what vacant units are currently being listed for market, right? That data does not get reported. It only operates off of executed leases.
Right.
So if a lease isn't executed at a lower rate, right? Not to mention, it not only needs to get executed, but remember, they grab it from these regions over time.
And it's only a survey of 7,000 renters.
I mean, come on. This is so outdated.
There are millions of people in the country. 7,000 of them are what this number gets calculated from.
So, bro, this is where I start to question. I'm taking a hard left here, so just bear with me for a second, okay?
Hard left is right at me, baby.
Yeah. Where I'm like, okay, AI is going to change a lot in a lot of spaces.
Holy shit. That is a hard left.
Hard left. AI is going to change a lot. It's going to steal a lot of jobs, right? Bro, it's 2024, and we're grabbing a survey of 7,000 renters for something that is playing a major role in the Fed funds rate.
Yep.
And you're trying to tell me that it's going to come in and impact all these different industries? Fuck out of here. Like, this shit is so outdated. It's going to take forever for it to come in and impact.
Yeah. Well, it's already happening in real time. The problem is it's not getting reported on. Haroon, scroll to the next article, and I will give you a colorful and vivid example of exactly what I mean by it's already happening.
I'll believe AI is going to change everything when we all get Starlink.
So, according to Zero Hedge, when we what?
I'll get Starlink internet when we get high-speed internet.
We can't afford high-speed internet here. This is Mind Pump South.
That's good.
So that's what Haroon laughs at? Of all this shit I talked tonight, that's what he laughs at?
He loves it.
All right, fine. The mother of all layoffs is coming. This combined with, I think, the next article is really going to frame what I think the reality of the world is right now. Operational efficiency is a word used by corporations to talk about, frankly, reductions in force or reductions in cost. The number one cost for most companies is their employees.
Right. It's a quick way for them to adjust their balance sheets, right, or their profit margins to quickly impact. That's why you'll see sometimes companies have mass or like a reduction in force,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like these terms that they use, man. When they fire some people, okay, when they start doing that, what happens to them in the market the next day or the next week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stock price starts to go up a little bit.
In some cases, I mean, there are other cases, but look, I have done my fair share of earnings calls now where I get on an earnings call and I speak. The weirdest thing to me is seeing a Google alert pop up with your name a couple of days later where an entire transcript has been taken of all the things you said on your earnings call and is posted on sites like Zero Hedge or, Market Buzz or pick whatever you want, right? And these are sites that pick it up and they put it out there and they do analysis on every word that you say and they look for buzzwords. Well, this for almost all publicly traded companies, as a matter of fact, I think all of them, is done. Transcripts. And then somebody goes through and says, okay, how many times were the words operational efficiency used in these earnings calls?
Oh, this is so good.
Right? Well, corporate transcript mentions of operational efficiency are at the highest they have been going back to 2005.
Damn, somebody's tracking this?
Yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
You're talking double what it was in 2005, almost triple. The bar chart that Haroon has lovingly pulled up here kind of gives you a little bit of visual insight, but it has been increasing. It decreased from 2020 to about 2022, and it's now increasing once again far above what it was leading into the pandemic.
So we're literally saying this term here, operational efficiency, has to do with layoffs.
Yeah. Again, if the highest cost for most companies' operations is the cost of their employees, and they're looking at trying to improve profitability despite all the things you've heard about layoffs to date, all the companies.
Yep.
This is now more, okay, it is far above what it was just a year ago.
Oh, yeah. And so back to our conversation on the Fed and tying it into this now is with now the Fed projection being only one rate cut this year, and it's looking more and more like that rate cut's coming in December, right? Not September, not November, all the way in December, okay? Man, you can for sure believe that people are carrying, some high balances on a lot of corporate debt that they were praying for rate cuts. They've been literally holding on. There haven't been layoffs. We've been talking about it on the show. There haven't been mass layoffs, but you know what's been changing a lot? We've been getting a lot of part-time workers. People have been having to reduce their hours.
Not according to one social media listener.
I mean, dipshit. But it's like, yeah, man, graph is gonna continue to go up, unfortunately.
And that means layoffs are likely on the horizon in a much more significant way than we had seen just even leading into this the last couple of years. And I thought we saw a lot already. Well, that is a bit of a lagging indicator relative to the market in one ways. But the lagging indicator we've been talking about this entire time was housing. Well, buying conditions in the U.S. housing market has collapsed to levels only seen 2 times since the 1960s. This, according to Game of Trades, once in 1974 and once in 1981.
So when you say buying conditions, what are the conditions?
Well, both those instances, just to be clear, ended in recessions. 1970s hyperinflation, 1980s double dip recessionary economies.
Right.
Okay, the double dip.
The double dip.
Dip in, pull out, dip back in. I'm pausing for emphasis.
So many jokes.
Nothing?
What? I mean, I gave him a layup.
I know. I'm waiting for him.
Yeah.
All I could think about was docking. That's all I could think about.
That's not in, back out, and in. It's just in.
Yeah, I know. In, back out, in, dock.
Yeah. If there are any Mormon listeners out there who want to explain to us how this works,
please call in.
Yeah, please call in.
Hey, we would love to have you on the show.
Yeah. Have you docked?
Have you?
If so, please send emails to Saied at higherstandardpodcast.com.
I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to listen.
Send videos to him, too.
Yeah, I mean.
Wait, whoa.
Be as descriptive as possible.
Hold on. Videos is a bit much, bro.
Yeah. You want to be able to articulate it to the listeners.
Oh, really? Give them a play-by-play?
With a colorful reality of detail, having only come from experiencing it yourself.
Come from experiencing. I saw what you did there.
At least someone's going to. All right, so the housing market is...
We got flagged. Dude, we got flagged 5 times
No,
this
we
episode.
didn't. The housing market is crucial as it is a leading indicator of a business cycle, but yet it is a lagging indicator in the data cycle.
Okay.
So let me explain that really clearly, okay? if the housing market starts to go bad, it is a leading indicator of what's happening in the business world and the cycle that's going to come.
Yes.
But in order for us to get that data and use it in our analytics, it is a lagging indicator.
Ass backwards, yeah.
So if you sign a lease and it was a year ago, it's now contributing to what we know for the data, which is reporting on housing. However, if we know that housing has problems today, it is going to tell us what's going to happen in the future about business tomorrow. So as you might imagine, as Saied colorfully put it, this is ass backwards.
This is ass backwards. And back to that Jerome Powell post-game press conference about this, okay? One of the reporters asked him about consumer sentiment and consumer confidence.
By the way, our growth on YouTube has been solely on a clip on consumer confidence is failing.
Yeah, you see what I'm doing here?
Yeah, so that's driving it home.
Yeah. He had the audacity, bro, to say, I don't really understand why the consumer confidence would be down right now, given the fact that the economy's doing great and that the unemployment rate is near historic lows still. We're still at 4%. I don't understand why, but we're not supposed to understand why. We're just looking at the data. And I'm like, you don't understand why? Because these numbers aren't real, bro. People are feeling pain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people are really going through it.
I had an experience this week, and I've told you about it before the show started off the air, and unfortunately, I cannot share it publicly, where very smart people who were very, very data heavy could not understand that there is a behavioral economics, a human condition behind decisions that are made for people's finances. And all they can see is this is what the analytics tell me. And it's hard to argue because they're looking at numbers and they say, these numbers say this. And you say, yes, but that's not how humans respond.
Right.
The numbers can say what they want. It's going to give you probability. But the human condition, the decision-making that humans make is always going to change that. Like, so for example, a very logical, quantitative thought process is, Chris, you have somebody who's paying $10,000 a month for their home. They're renting it. And they've got all these expenses every single month. They're going to ultimately default on their rent because it's an excess expense, and they're going to downsize and get a smaller place because that's what's weighing them down. Unfortunately, humans work the opposite way.
Mm-hmm.
They default on everything else and try to preserve their place where they live as long as they can.
I mean, that would make the most sense, right? Yeah.
You try to preserve your home.
You try to preserve your home first and probably your car second, because you need your car to get from point A to point B.
Yes.
Right?
Which is why default rates in those markets have usually been different.
Mm-hmm.
But trying to explain the behavioral economics to somebody who wants to see the data and the explanation as to why is an intangible.
Mm-hmm.
And there are those people who just have a difficult time with that.
Yeah.
And Jerome Powell and the FOMC are very quantitative in their thought process.
Yeah.
And they're not willing to bet on saying, I believe the human is feeling this because this is happening in a way that data cannot pick up right now.
Yeah.
And to that point, the housing market data is a crucial leading indicator of the business cycle, as I noted. It tends to react quickly to changes in interest rate. Think about this. If housing market is crucial as a leading indicator of the business cycle, and it tends to react quickly to changes in interest rate, which we have seen a great deal of over the course of the last 2 years, and yet everything we're seeing in its contribution to core inflation and inflation suggests that it is doing just fucking fine. And we all know that it's a lagging indicator as a baseline. We are being misrepresented the core inflation and the inflation numbers.
Yes.
Just matter of fact, they are not indicative of what we're feeling, and this is exactly why. We use quantitative analysis to gain insights from different indicators in order to come up with housing. And unfortunately, a 7,000 person summary of rent conditions should not be rent and owner's rent equivalent for the purposes of inflation, but that is what they use.
Imagine trying to build out a budget for you and your family right now and a plan of attack of how you guys want to proceed forward with what type of investments you want to make, how much money you put away, how much you're paying towards your debt and whatnot. But you're operating under the analysis of your expenses from last year.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Basically, yes. And Haroon, pull up the chart here. I think this chart really gives a human touch that I think is nice. This from Game of Trades. People don't feel like buying homes, buying conditions for houses and housing as surveyed by the consumers. So, again, buying conditions are really talking about the share reporting good conditions minus share reporting bad conditions plus 100. The math doesn't matter. Basically, you see optimism all the way to this fucking sucks in 2024. And the chart pretty much drops through the floor. And it's really, this is supposed to be an intangible indication of how people feel about the housing market. And they feel incredibly bad. That's what this is saying.
Yeah. I mean, look at the last few times it dipped too.
Yeah. The last few times it dipped this low were 1974 and 1981, and both of these ended in recessions.
Hey, real quick though, fire logo, Game of Trades, right?
The Rook?
Yeah, the Rook's pretty gangster.
It's not a Rook, it's a Knight. Goddamn, I
knight.
caught you, boy.
Yeah.
Caught you slipping.
That's his thing.
Caught you slip. Haroon, you play chess?
I do, yep.
Why have we never played?
I didn't know you
Bro,
played.
he wiped the floor with you. Get
Brother,
out of here.
I played chess lessons. I had chess lessons and played chess for the first, I don't know, 10 years of my young life. Like, that was my sport.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool. Adam's
I played
in
through high
chess
school.
club right now, and he was really into it.
You were in chess club in high school is what you said?
Nah, who almost said high school, bro?
that what-
Hold
Oh,
on.
he's talking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't in chess club like in high school, but I was in a chess class after.
I didn't even know that high schools offered that.
Yeah.
Oh. How'd you do?
Not too bad. I
He's
just played
very
for fun. I never played a
he's
tournament or anything.
being I can't believe this. He's being very, very modest.
I played in a lot of tournaments.
Anyone that I've tried to position against him, he's wiped the floors with it. I would love to see this match.
You ever play speed chess?
I think I'd do better in speed chess than.
Oh, we're gonna do this. We gotta do a special episode for this now. Come on. Oh, there's gonna be some major shit talking too. Major.
I can't get a
Click,
fucking
click,
light
click,
camera to
click,
work
click,
back
click.
there.
No, fuck that, bro. We're gonna do it right here. We're gonna do it right here.
All right, let's get into some pop culture. It makes sense that we go from really intelligent things like chess challenges to talking about Justin Timberlake. So why not?
Should we do pop culture first or reviews at the end? Or how do you want to do this?
I mean, we always do reviews at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a video of this?
No way.
Haroon, you little whore. Is that what the audio was from earlier?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let me sit up for this
see
shit.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
go.
It works. All right, here we go.
Well, lead us in,
where
lead
is
us
that?
in.
This is the
Hold on,
Hamptons?
hold on, hold on. Yeah,
The
so
Hamptons?
video shows Justin Timberlake driving moments before his DWI. Let's take a.
Oh, I haven't seen this. Give it to me. Give it to me.
No ads. Come on, please.
Please, no ads. There
That's
he
him?
is.
Okay. Where's he going? I mean,
Oh, he's
He
in
looks
2
fine.
lanes.
He looks
Oh,
fine.
that's-
I mean, he didn't.
That's
That wasn't
lame.
bad.
weak, bro.
the intersection there. That was weak. I thought it was gonna be better though.
Oh, you
You didn't even watch it?
You didn't vet it?
No.
I got so excited, bro.
It looked like a guy driving. I drive worse than that checking my cell phone.
Oh,
Right.
that's really
what was
lame.
so bad about it? Yeah.
Well, regardless,
Okay.
JT got pulled over for DWI.
There's not even anybody else in the street. Poor
So,
bastard.
Wait, I don't
This
actually
is him.
I don't know the whole story. So DWI, so driving while intoxicated, was he drunk? I mean, was he high? Do we
I
know?
think that's their version of DUI there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was drunk.
And in the Hamptons.
So
and-
apparently he's had like a drinking problem for years and been in dark places. But people have said that he was getting ready.
Dark places, JT?
Yeah, because he had a lot of like public pressure against him for things that he. The Britney Spears, apparently during the Britney Spears book that came out, he forced her to get an abortion. And
Really?
yeah, and then she's been doing almost like 50 Cent like shots across the bow on social media. Like the night that this was announced, she posted a picture of a drink, an alcoholic beverage.
Bro, their beef, they had some beef back in the day. I'll never forget. I went to his concert back in the day. Somebody had free tickets and we went. And it was the one where the album where he had Cry Me a River.
Great song.
Okay, so if you know, back then it was Staples Center, not Crypto, right? And he's performing. And remember at Staples, they had those drapes that drop down and they use it as like a screen for people to see. And he takes the camera and he's singing Cry Me a River. and he's going completely off script. He's holding the camera. It's like literally like POV, right? And he's just like flipping off the camera, going crazy at it.
Why?
You would naturally assume it was about Britney. I'm like, come on, man. Like, still holding on to this?
Well, look, there's a lot of things you don't want in life. A crazy ex ain't one of them. She burned her own gym to the ground. I mean, she ain't afraid of you, Justin. There's nothing you're going to do to get her to stop.
Yeah, her whole thing, I don't really understand her whole conservatorship thing. And, like, the fans are like, free Britney. But I'm like, should she really be freed? Or that feels like that might need to be in place. But she was being extorted. There's a lot there.
Yeah, I don't know enough of it to really speak on it. Haroon, do you have any thoughts on that?
No, I know nothing about Britney.
Dude, she was, like, sending messages through her videos that fans were saying, like blink this amount of times if you need help. And it's like, I don't know.
And honestly, the mugshot with Justin Timberlake, where he looks. First of all, there's nobody on the road in the Hamptons. It's the Hamptons.
Yeah.
You know, there's nobody there. This mugshot of him right here.
This is the.
Everyone's like, oh my God, he looked blitz. I thought he just looked tired.
This is better than any photo I've ever taken.
I wish I looked that good. I mean, he looks fucking good, right?
I wish I looked this good on my wedding day. Like,
he looks like
fucked.
He's just tired. And what a great fucking head of hair on this guy.
There's some work there, right?
No, that's real, dude.
I love that he rocks the like salt and pepper look a little bit. I love that.
Yeah, I wish if I had a mugshot, I guarantee you I'm gonna look 10 times worse than this. You should be at home going like, see, babe?
The wife actually asked me this weekend, what are your thoughts on dyeing my beard?
No, don't do it.
Oh, don't do it. No, hell no.
She's like, I'll just do a little bit. It'll look so natural.
Yeah,
like,
let me tell you right now, you will not survive a podcast with us.
Yeah,
bro. And right now it's tough for you because
does the carpet match the drapes?
you can't not say it.
You can't not dye
bro,
one.
Yeah, exactly. But the problem is you're in your early stages. I remember when mine was just now starting gray. It was bothering the shit. You just gotta let it like.
I don't
go.
care. It's her, and I'm just like, all right.
I've adopted it. I basically look like an X-Men character.
Well, then if it's for her, then you might have to.
People always ask me about this right here. Why it goes from like black like this, like I'm a villain on a Marvel like movie or something.
It looks different when it's on camera. Like in person, you can't notice it as much. But for some reason on camera, it like picks up way more.
Are you trying to like Jedi mind fuck me to feel subconscious on the show now?
Yeah.
Well done.
Well
done. Yeah.
Cerebral.
I'm just like, do I just give you like chin shot only to the camera, or like what do I do here?
I'll go to this article next just because you mentioned it's like Dr. Dre, Tyler the Creator, I don't even know, YG, and more pop up for Kendrick Lamar's Juneteenth concert. I know LeBron's at this concert. The reason I brought this up is what's the best concert you guys have ever attended?
Oh, that's a good question. You know, I've never been a concert guy.
Yeah, me either.
Especially because I know from people that I've heard, my choice of music, I don't think it's not a hidden fact, is hip hop. And hip hop concerts usually don't do very well because the music doesn't translate, right? But I'll say I went to the Kanye concert in at where was it? Where the Trojans play. What's that called, Odin?
Coliseum?
The Coliseum, yeah. And he had a live orchestra there. That was incredible.
That's cool.
That was incredible.
Dude, you've been to a good amount of concerts. You went to the JT one. You went to
Jay-Z.
Kanye. Yeah, I went to Jay-Z.
Okay, so Jay-Z's performance was really cool.
It was a crowd. You said it was.
It was the crowd. It was
it
was at the Irvine Amphitheater.
Yeah.
Is that still around?
They just actually closed the new one they did down here.
Yeah.
They moved it over to where the Wild Rivers was over here, and they closed it because of the sound issue and the management company.
So that's where Jay-Z had it at, and it was just looking back. It was the first time I'd seen a crowd like that, where it was like 10,000 people, and they were all throwing up the rock sign, and it was going. I was like, wow, this is incredible.
Well, this should come as no surprise. Then the best concert I've ever been to was the Jay-Z and Kanye Watch the Throne.
That's one of my like top 3 favorite albums.
I went to that concert. And they were like suspended in the air above us on a platform, like floating down to the stage. And when they were playing their song, Africans Americans in Paris.
Guys in Paris.
It was, first of all, there was clouds of marijuana smoke everywhere, which normally would bother me, but it was, I mean, just kind of expected going in, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody was just like having a good time, eating pizza, standing on like everybody was standing up.
Right.
And for some reason, there was like this pizza thing right next to our section. We were in the section that I actually liked it so much. I flew around like different locations and saw it around the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's one that I wish I could have come back and seen.
That was an amazing concert. I did not expect it to be as good as it was.
There's that one, and then there was the back in the day. I remember I had some older cousins that went to the Up in Smoke tour that they say to this day was the best thing they've ever seen.
Other than that, I honestly don't like concerts. I probably would have gone like World Music Conference in like Miami, stuff like that. That was cool.
Really?
Yeah, I like a lot of the DJs. I don't know what it is about concerts. I just feel like when you go to a concert, you're sitting in like stands, and I feel like you're in general population, and I just don't. I feel like I'm part of like a herd.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you're like in a festival crowd, for some reason, it just feels much more engaging and less demeaning.
Right.
Maybe that's why festivals are more popular now than clubs are in some ways.
Because right, isn't the whole point of going to it, or not? It's maybe not the only point, but going to a concert to, listen to songs that make you nostalgic and reminisce on good times that you had listening to these songs. So it's like I've never really had that. So concerts wouldn't do that for me.
So it's what Jerome Powell would do for you if you went to go see one of his concerts.
I would love to see Jerome Powell.
I would. Oh, I sent this to you. You can't use this.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I saw this and I really liked it. I thought. I
What,
had
you
a
sent
good
this to
question.
him? Why didn't you send this to me?
Because you have no appreciation for fun.
I have no appreciation for Michael Jordan.
So this is Michael Jordan's penthouse in Chicago that he stayed in the 80s. Have you ever been at an Airbnb or hotel that you were just blown away with?
Bro, I want to go. Like, there's like some penthouses in Vegas that I would like just die to go to because they got like the basketball courts inside. I'd be like, I don't need to go downstairs. I'm gonna stay in this penthouse the entire time. That's like my dream. That's like on my bucket list.
The one, it wasn't an Airbnb, so I want to do this without divulging the name because people can find it. But so a buddy of mine's uncle had reasons for really loving the homes that mafia movies were shot in. So he owned the largest house in Los Angeles for a long period of time, which was an entire city block, which had the drive up to it in the front yard of the movie The Godfather. On the way up to it, all these Italian like statues. You get up to the front, there's that whole fountain that was in front of the Godfather's house. And then, it was a nice house, beautiful, like, pool house, stuff like that. And it's in Los Angeles. It was cool. We went to go stay at his house in Montecito, which had the room that was Scarface's office.
No way.
And it wasn't on the second floor, it was on the first floor. But in the movie, when it comes out, it's in the second floor. But it was really the office that you saw was filmed on the first floor. But it looked exactly the same. But in this house in Montecito, which is surrounded, like all these houses are very private, exclusive, Oprah Winfrey's house is there, and they're surrounded by trees. There's a caretaker on site. And he said, hey, it was just four of us that were staying in the house that night. And it said, hey, look, this house has a lot of hidden passageways. It was used during some eras of time where you needed those to get around the house. So if you hear weird things, you see weird things, it's usually just the wind blowing through these places. So we started like looking for them, and we found like fireplaces that moved. We found all these like doors hidden all over the house that led to other places. We did this late at night. It was one of the creepiest but yet most memorable things I've ever experienced. Oh, and the shot of Tony Montana's house where the tiger was on the little like thing on the chain that was outside this house.
Yeah.
That was at that house too.
Oh.
So in the morning we woke up, we saw like that thing looking down, and we watched Scarface in the morning.
You have to.
Yeah.
At that point, that's really cool.
That was a cool one. Big
That's
property.
really cool. So this is in Chicago?
Yeah, dude. This house. So this is actually pictures of his house from the 1980s. Michael Jordan's house in the 1980s, and it was literally like 1980s Art Deco style. It had a full basketball. This is a penthouse. This is the top of the building. It had a full basketball court in it, full pool. I mean, an unbelievable. I mean, this is 80s Art Deco at its prime.
Mm-hmm.
And I would live there today. It is so cool looking.
To me, it is so cool. And if you haven't, had the luxury of going to Chicago too, dude, first of all, it's my favorite U.S. city. Like, it's underestimated how clean it is there. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. My wife's too, by the way.
Really? Yeah. I
loves it.
personally love it out there.
We
Shout out.
went last
And we
year.
actually got a huge following out in Chicago. So shout out to all the Chicago listeners. Yeah.
Oh, all right. What up in the shy?
Yeah.
All right, and last one. Ariana Grande explained why serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer is her dream dinner date. My question to you guys is, who would your dream dinner date be?
What?
Yeah. I mean, is there any backstory here? Why? Why would it be?
They kind of look alike.
She just has a bunch of questions she wants to ask him, basically. She didn't go into depth of why. But, yeah, it's just basically, I just want to ask him a bunch of questions. I want to know why he did it.
He killed and ate people, you friggin'
right
nut
up,
job.
Right up the stereotype, right? Where, like, girls love to watch these type of documentary series.
Who hurt you?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
You know?
Why are they into these serial killer shows, bro?
No, actually, if you see it, okay, it was canceled on Netflix, but you see the Netflix show Serial? So it was an interesting semi-real kind of take on some of the serial. So, but it took like well-known serial killers, right? They found actors who looked and sounded and really portrayed them well. They did such an amazing job. Dahmer was one of them. And these guys were trying to catch other serial killers, and they would interview them to try to get information on the serial killers. And they asked one of the serial killers, a guy who was known to kill a lot of people and was very allegedly successful at it. And he said to him, you know, you were one of the best. And this guy who's playing a serial killer laughs. This is actually a true interview that happened, by the way. So this is not the fiction part of the show. And he laughed and he goes, what makes you think I'm the best? And they said, well, you killed all these people, more than most, and you did it over a longer period of time, and nobody ever caught you, and then, you know, you ultimately got caught. And he goes, but that's the problem. He's like, I know people that are better than me that have never been caught.
Wow.
And you just look at the screen and you're just like, oh.
God, that's sick. That is disgusting. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Not really sure how you turn the show around after that, though.
Yeah, bring it back in.
Maybe we should do some positive reviews now.
Yeah, got a little dark. No, do you have a dream dinner date?
A dream dinner date?
Yeah,
of course I do.
My
wife.
He's trying to get you divorced, bro.
My wife, bro.
We actually didn't ask Odun. What was your favorite concert?
Barney?
Dirty Heads concert, reggae.
What? Reggae. Okay, I'll buy that. Yeah, reggae is
Dirty Heads.
Yeah,
it was a band. It was a reggae band back in
pretty good. You like
80s. Them? They're okay. I'm more of a traditional reggae. I'm a Bob Marley guy.
I mean, it's hard not to be.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Three Little Birds, man.
Odun, who's your dinner date?
Oh fuck, I don't even know. The question was for you two. Neither of you guys even answered.
If I had to go to dinner with somebody, who would I go with? My wife.
Yeah, 100% my wife. Look at you, wholesome husband.
Yeah, your wife too.
I got to do the Saied thing now.
My wife too. You got to be a long-time listener to understand that one. All right, so let's get into these reviews. This from Apple Guy 73. Love the dynamic. 5 stars.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't,
not being honest,
it wouldn't be real.
Great info with a fun twist. Love Saied and his informational segments. Keep it up. I didn't even know this.
What kind of bullshit is this?
Informational segments for the win. Let's go.
Great info with a fun twist. Just to be clear here, Apple Guy 73, I am the fun twist.
Yeah,
okay?
You're the fun.
You love Saied? What about Haroon?
I'm the great info. You're the fun twist.
Haroon, fuck us, right?
I don't even get this.
Yeah, I don't. What he doesn't provide any information. Just to be clear, the informational segment today came from me too.
Yeah, that one. No, it was all you today. That was You did. It was great. Hold on. Why am I catching hate here?
Because he loves Saied, and he spelled your name right. This might be your Apple Guy 73, aren't you?
No, mine would be a lot lengthier than this. All right. Well, thank you, Apple Guy 73. Funny guys. This from Swifty Karma.
Okay, makes sense.
5 stars. Okay, let's go.
Loyal OG fan here.
Loyal OG fan here. Wanted to give a 5-star review for Mr. Sultry.
Yo, that's OG. All right.
What's going on? I'm getting some love. Yo, shout out to the listeners, man. They understand my true propositional value.
I didn't see these come up. Are these real? Are y'all fucking with me? This is not real, right?
No, is it?
Real. They're real.
They're real?
Why does it say funnyguys.jpg?
Funny guys?
That's the name of the review, or the title of the review?
Wait, JPEG?
Yeah.
Oh, he took a screen grab of it.
Took a screen grab.
Yeah, he didn't.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I don't trust either one of you right now. I didn't see these.
Yeah, I got to pull this up.
We better get off the show. These better be there. Okay?
Yeah, they better be there. Well, thank you, Swifty Karma.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you, Haroon.
Honest 5-star review. And last but not least, this from our guy, Christopher Garcia, 6387. This guy went out of his way. We gotta hook this guy up.
Yeah, we gotta send him.
And lengthy.
And lengthy. So here we go. Fellas, I've been listening to y'all on Spotify for a little over a year now. And yes, I've left an honest 5-star review. Well, thank you, Christopher.
Appreciate you, brother. Great name,
Yeah.
by the way. Got to be sexy.
-1, but it's okay.
No, the name is fantastic.
As a personal banker, finance major, and an everyday person, I've received a tremendous amount of value from the show.
Hey,
I'm glad you do.
industry brother, we love you. Welcome.
Yeah.
You want to co-host?
Yeah, I'll be out.
Mr. Sultry is getting kicked out.
I've learned a lot from you guys and truly appreciate what you guys do. Some of the things I've learned from y'all have helped me with some of the talking points I utilize with my clients, which would have otherwise taken years, maybe less, of experience to do so. I would bet that there are other listeners like me who have gained just as much, if not more, value from the show. There's not enough financial literacy in the world, but the world is a little better with you guys in it. I'm not going to lie. I ain't going to lie. When I read that, it made me smile.
Did it really?
It really made me smile.
Oh,
Yeah. Shout out to you, Christopher. Thank you.
See, when I provide reviews to you guys, they're not fabricated by me to insult somebody. They're real reviews from real listeners, like Christopher Garcia, 6387.
Keep doing the Lord's work, gentlemen. By the way, I came all the way to YouTube to leave this stupid comment.
Yeah, he did.
So give me a free sticker or something.
We'll hook him up with some free merch. You got his information, right?
Yeah. No, I found him on Instagram, so I'm gonna reach out to him. Pick something out.
All right.
We'll hook him up.
Yeah, I think one of the ones I sent out earlier didn't get sent out. I got some weird alert today. I got to figure that out. But yeah. Christopher, we appreciate you. We will send you some merch. We appreciate you going cross-platform. That is a journey that not many make. So thank you very much. And for the record, I found your review first, and I forwarded it to the guys. So I am your biggest fan. You guys are just afterthoughts.
That's not true, Christopher.
You didn't see him or me, just to be clear.
All right.
Haroon, what about the other one that was emailed to you guys earlier tonight?
Oh, that's right. There's another one too.
Yeah, I want to read her review. She was nice. It was Sabrina, right?
That was sweet. Yeah. Let me see here.
Yeah, with a Y.
Sabrina with a Y.
Yeah, and she had a great way of like acknowledging the way her name was spelled a lot unusual. She's like Sabrina, like the teenage witch.
All right. Here we go.
Gotcha.
I got it. Here we go. Hey, fellas. As instructed by your most recent episode, I am here to give my honest 5-star review that Spotify has denied me. You know, Spotify's got to change this.
They got to change it.
Like, this is...
There's a Q&A section, like a comment section that they have, but it's not the same.
Bro, this is kind of wild. We went, 2 months with nothing. Then we asked for the listeners came out, and...
You really got to ask for it.
I know. We did not want to buy that initially, but you have to ask for it. You're right.
Yeah.
Here you go. The Higher Standard Podcast is a great show that breaks down current economic data to the general public. The dynamic between Chris, Saied, and Haroon, all spelled correctly, +1, is most entertaining. Just like how the guys of Mind Pump give us fitness truth, these guys give us financial truth. Keep up the great work. I am also enjoying the new entertainment segment, something I didn't know I needed.
There you go. By the way, Haroon, whenever we display this, let's try to keep my mobile number off it, okay?
Nah.
Fucking guy.
Bro, I edit this.
Now you're gonna have to crop. You're gonna have to crop it off.
I ain't about to add Sabrina's email in there either.
Yeah. That being said, yeah, this was actually a really nice. First of all, the fact that we joke sarcastically about our email addresses and people actually get it and email us,
Yeah, I love
is
it.
awesome.
I love
So it's Saied at Higher Standard Podcast, spelled SAIED. All hate mail goes there.
Yeah, and it's Chris at higherstandardpodcast.com to complain about Haroon.
Yeah, which is HAROON at higherstandardpodcast.com.
Right.
But yeah, Sabrina, fantastic review. We chatted back and forth for a little bit, and then I hopped into the show. But she was like, "Oh, she mentioned Mind Pump, right?"
Yeah.
Well, Adam's coming on the show tomorrow.
Adam's coming on the show tomorrow, and that episode will probably get dropped
A week after you hear this one.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Well done, sir. Good show. It was fun, like old times.
We gave some good show, right?
Yeah.
Haroon?
Bravo. Good energy.
Yeah.
Wow.
You did not have the energy in the beginning.
Me?
Before the show started. Yeah.
Dude, you know how just gut-wrenching it is for the third week to come in here to try to set this shit up for you to get a camera and light on you, and me to the pole's not long enough, which I already hear at home. Now I hear it in the office. It was very discouraging.
Oh,
Well, thank you for
bigger
trying.
person.
Be the bigger person.
Be the bigger person.
And I had a bigger pole at home that I use in my spare time, but I just
Yeah.
the arms on it would have
So is
worked
that
fine.
one gonna work? You think?
God, I hope so.
Yeah.
If I try a third physical setup that doesn't get the job done, I'm just gonna say Haroon doesn't need a camera.
It is what it is.
Yeah, you're not getting. And then I got to figure out the camera's internal. I don't even know if these things have LUTs that I can put on them so I can get the color grading right. Because for those of you who watch the show on YouTube, you really should. But we don't actually have to color grade anything. It's all color graded in camera, and what you see is actually just coming straight out of the bodies. So
Yeah.
now you know.
Now you know.
Shall we wrap it up?
Let's always wrap it up, bro. What do you mean? Stay rapping.
That was awkward. Haroon, you got anything?
No.
All right.
All right. Goodbye. Good night, everybody.
Nothing, Chris?
Nope. Took it from you.
Took it from you.
I go steal my thunder and do it twice.